Beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, and today it's gonna be nasty. You hear me? Nasty. Like a little baby's diaper after he poo-poops. We are America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Here it is Tuesday, weather's nice, weather report's over. You people know, and you know Bob Romanik, you know I'm a no-good son of a bitch, you know I'm a convicted felon. I mean, there's not much you don't know about me. But one thing you may not know, at the end of the day, I'm a man. I'm going to stand tall for what I believe in, what I think, and I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. That's the problem, people. We sit there and live for everybody else. I'm living for Bob Romanik. I was living for my son, no longer around. That's okay. It's not okay. But the only one I got to live for is Bob Romanik. And you guys got family, and you got to live for your families, but you got to live for yourself. You can't let a no-good son of a bitch, no matter who the hell the no-good son of a bitch is, try to dictate the direction you go in your life. Doesn't it piss you off, people? I wasn't even going to go here, but I thought about it, and it just pisses me off. And I've told you before, I'm not a scripted radio man. I don't have to take 2 or 3 hours to go through my show before I do it. I go take a crap, sit on the toilet, read whatever in the papers for 5 minutes, and here I am, because I don't care. I'm not a professional radio guy. I'm just a pissed off, angry American who's commandeered the airways, who has the opportunity to speak my mind. And I'm going to make sure I speak it, people, and I hope you do too. You hear me all the time. You go over to Jefferson Barracks, you drive through that cemetery, and all those brave military heroes all gave some, and some gave all. Some gave their entire life, their entire future, so I could live free, so you and your family could live free, so we could speak free, so we can move free in this great country. And you get these ass-white bastard politicians trying to take our rights away? Somebody will say, Romanik, you're running for office. I say to them, kiss my white, hairy, stinky, wrinkled ass. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't live for politics. These politicians, people, they're going nuts. I mean, I'm running at the local level, at the state rep level. How much can I screw up? But damn, you got Hillary, you got Trump, and both of them, I think, are kind of idiots. It's going to be vote the lesser of the two evils. And that shouldn't happen at the national level. That shouldn't happen when we're picking our president to represent the greatest country on this earth. There ought to be some positive come out of these elections. Everything I hear is negative. But you know why? That's what politics is all about, negativity. There's nothing positive in politics. It's all bad, people. It's all bad. You hear Trump, he says something stupid, which is just about every day. And the Democrats run with it. Well, you think he was Hitler or the devil when he screws up something. Not real good with this verbiage, as neither am I, but I'm not running for president. And then old Hillary, all the emails, there's enough. I personally think that she's done enough wrong to spend the next 500 years in prison. But they're the elitists, both Democrats and Republicans. Us decent, hardworking people. And when I said decent, you heard what I said, people. I said decent. I didn't say perfect, because I'm far from being perfect. But I'm just tired of being politically correct. I quit being politically correct about 10 years ago. I started being politically incorrect. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've been politically insane. But when people say, Romanik, you watch it, they won't vote for you, they're mad at you, I'm not voting for you. And I say to all of them, once again, did you write it down the first time? Kiss my white, hairy, stinky, wrinkled ass. Getting elected to a state representative doesn't mean a damn thing to me. I'd like to go to Springfield and fight those bastards. And when I say those bastards, I mean those bastards on both sides of the aisle. Not just the Democrats. So when I want to tell everyone out there in the 114th Legislative District, I'll be out there after Labor Day knocking on doors, because when I do something, right or wrong, I do it right. Sometimes when you do wrong and you do right by doing wrong, it ain't pretty, but that's okay. But I go out there, I'm going to let the people know that I'm going to fight for them. I can't promise them to lower their taxes. I'll fight for that. I can't promise them that there'll be less crime, but I'll fight for better police protection. The only thing I can promise the people of the 114th Legislative District is I'll fight for you. There may be something you heard me yesterday I may not like, and I'll stand on the House floor and say, hey, I think that's wrong. I don't like it. But my constituents in the 114th Legislative District demand, order me I'm going to go to Springfield, people, and I'm going to fight for you. And when my bosses demand me to vote the way they want, I don't give a damn about my personal feelings. I'm going to vote because I represent you, the people of the 114th Legislative District. Not Madigan, not Rauner. So digressing, I want to tell you, don't vote for me, people, because you think I'm a Republican, because I'm not. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a proud American, and I'm going to vote my conscience. And my conscience is going to be your conscience, because when we come together, people, when we come together, this state, this country will be a lot better off. But we have to communicate. We have to talk to each other. We can't let these 5% of these ass-white Democrats, the organizational Democrats, we can't let the 5% of the Republicans, the organizational Republicans, we can't let these people divide and conquer us. They've been doing it for years and years. And you proud black people in East St. Louis, I saw on national television today. The black community the last 20 years under the Democratic rule has got nothing. And I got to be honest, I don't know what the hell more they'd get under the Republican rule. And I'm ragging the Democrats now because they've been in power in the state of Illinois. If it had been the Republicans, I'd be all over their Republican asses, because I don't give a damn about either party. I give a damn about the person, about you people. Having said that, that just kind of pissed me off. I got to say, I'm going to talk about Ron Dildo Dupert. Ron Dildo Dupert. He's the candidate for judge in the 20th Judicial Circuit. I don't like the son of a bitch. Don't like him at all. Don't like what he's done to people. Don't like the crap he's been flying around. Ron Dildo Dupert. If anybody knows him, have him. I'm going to talk about him in about 5 minutes. I'm going to give him, unlike him giving me the opportunity to respond to some of his crap, I want to give everybody the opportunity. When I talk about you, I usually call up and try to get the people to come on the air. Because I'll never talk. A man doesn't talk behind somebody's back. I'll talk right to your face, all of you, that I've got something to say. But Ron Dildo Dupert, in about 10 minutes, we're going to be all over your ass. Well, you may like that, you stupid LGBT sponsorship queen. Are you the queen of Belleville, Dupert? I just want to know. And I think you know what I mean by the queen. I don't think you're crowned. I don't think you'd be crowned the queen. I think if you bend over, you'd be, well, never mind. I can't go there. Hey, before we go there, this idiot, Colin Kaepernick. Now, It was on TV last night. They talked about him being biracial. That has nothing to do with my conversation. I don't give a damn if he was purple. I just think he's an ass-wipe, no good for nothing son of a bitch. You guys know this is the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. And yeah, it's 49ers. Dildo duper. It's not 69ers, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. This son of a bitch. And let's keep all the decent professional football players out of this mix, because he is a professional football player, but he's one of the bad guys. This no-good bastard wouldn't stand up. Didn't stand up, you hear me, people, for the national anthem before the game. Now, I'm challenging you, whoever owns the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm challenging everyone in San Francisco. You ought to boycott every game that this Colin Kaepernick dresses for. You ought to boycott every game. This Colin Kaepernick, this no good son of a bitch. They're playing the national anthem. And he refuses to stand. And he says it's because of all the police brutality in this great country. Is this son of a bitch nuts? Is he totally nuts? He's not going to stand, people, for the national anthem. This guy makes $20-30 million a year, and he's not going to stand. And here was a letter. A gentleman wrote this. It says, we both make our living wearing uniforms, colon. You have probably ruined a jersey or two on the field of play. I still have my blood-stained shirt that my partner in paramedics literally ripped off my back that cold night in January. This is a police officer. He says, I guess that's where the similarities end. You entertain for a living, and I and almost 800,000 others across this country serve and protect for a living. But this no-good ass-wipe professional football player who partakes of all the benefits living in this great country because of our veterans, because of our great country, because of the freedoms that flag stands for the freedoms that flag stands for, is given him. He's going to disrespect the flag, going to disrespect our country, going to disrespect our military, and sit his lame ass down. You ought to sit his head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. You ought to sit his lame ass down forever. And I would hope that people would take this seriously. Do you understand? This man didn't stand for the national anthem. And he says because of police brutality has nothing to do with what our country stands for. Yes, there are bad policemen. I call them bums with badges. There's bad everything. There's a few bad lawyers, few bad doctors, bad priests, a lot of bad politicians. But for this son of a bitch not to stand. And this officer says, did I mention that I buried 7 friends killed in the line of duty? 3 others have committed suicide. And it says, whether you stand or sit during the national anthem means very little to me. But it means a lot. It means a lot for the symbolic gesture of this great country. This guy partakes in all the freedoms because that great red, white, and blue is flying every day over that stadium and is flying every day over our great country. But you're not going to stand? You're not going to stand and honor our country? You don't have to honor police officers if you don't like policemen. You don't have to honor first responders. You don't have to honor politicians. You don't have to honor anybody. But you will, Colin Kaepernick. And I hope the good people of San Francisco turn on you like white on rice, jump on your ass because you are a disrespect to this great country. You know, people in other countries, they watch these football games. They know what's going on. And when they see a no-good son of a bitch like this, and it's a matter of principle. But you know what the funny part about that is? He's using his rights under the First Amendment. Freedom of speech. You don't want to stand up. Now, in any other country, you asswipe, no good son of a bitch, you'd have your head cut off. But not in America, because see that flag that you just disrespected, Colin Kaepernick, that flag that you just disrespected is protecting you from being hurt. How hypocritical can you be, you rotten bastard? How hypocritical can you be? We got a call. Let's go ahead and take a caller before I go completely pissed. Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Hi, Bob. When you say you have a choice of voting for the lesser of two evils, I believe you're wrong. There's the Libertarian Party, Gary Johnson, who will make fools out of both of those candidates. And just think, if 35% vote for the Republican or Democrats, you got 65% that have a choice otherwise. And wouldn't that upset the apple cart if he won?
Yeah. Thank you for the call, Joe. Yeah, Joe, it would. But when you vote for these third-party candidates, libertarian, whatever they want to call them, it's just a vote for the Democrats. That's taking a vote away from Trump. So there really, and I understand your philosophy behind that, but there really is no choice. It's Clinton or Trump. And again, if you vote for third-party, this libertarian candidate, and I'm sure he's a great candidate, maybe he should have been on the Republican ticket. I don't know. But see, the Republicans, not the rank and file, the decent Republicans all throughout this country, but the elitists, the 5%, they don't want somebody like that. If you don't think like these stupid bastards, they don't want anything to do with you. They don't want to think out of the box. But thanks for the call. But anyway, isn't it amazing that this flag, this great red, white, and blue, give us complete freedom? And one of the freedoms is the freedom to disrespect the flag, to burn the flag, to sit there at the national anthem. And Colin Kaepernick, I'm sure your parents are very proud of you. I hope this backfires on you. And it's just a matter of principle, people. Let's respect this great country. We don't have to like our politicians. We can hate our politicians, and a lot of times I do, because I know what they do. I've been on both sides. But to disrespect this great country because we don't like a policeman, we don't like a politician, I think that's totally, totally wrong. Having said that, what else is totally, totally wrong? Ron Dildo Dupert, you no good piece of crap. This no good son of a bitch, and I'm trying to find him. He gets on now he's running for judge in the 20th Judicial Circuit. And boy, you speak of a bad candidate. And yes, he's on the same side I'm on. I'm more embarrassed about running on the same ticket with him than I was going to prison. And I think Dildo Dupert would have probably liked it in prison, if you know what I mean. Hey, Dildo Dupert, candidate for circuit judge in the 20th Judicial Circuit. You talk about the lesser of the two evils. There's nothing more evil than you. And you know what the bad part about it, people? I'm not a hypocrite. I tell you the way it is. I don't like Bear Civic. But I guess he's the lesser of the two evils, and I hate to say that. But Ron Dildo Dupert, he gets on his poo-poo pad, I call it. He gets in his iTunes. He gets on his Facebook page, and he writes all kind of crap. And he puts on there yesterday, and I just got a copy of it, and it pissed me off. See, he goes behind everybody's back, and he wants to position himself. Ask Bob Romanik why he's not for me, or why he has turned against me. If he has an answer, ask yourself if his answer is coherent, principled, and reasonable. Well, no, you're not going to get anything reasonable or coherent from Bob Romanik. Now, principled, yes. Truth is, when push comes to shove, Bob Romanik cannot come up with any real or factual, accurate, or true reason not to support me. Okay, Dildo Dupert, you pushed my button. You challenged me. That was a challenge, people. He said, I can't come up with a reason not to support this no good son of a bitch. Well, I'll tell you what. And then here's Dildo Dupert says that he's independent. He's independent of everybody. He's a big man. He stands tall. It says, how can the public's confidence in the judiciary be positively affected? Well, I'll tell you what, Dildo Dupert, you got chastised and you got beef by the ARDC in the last election, didn't you? You don't tell the people that. You don't want to emphasize. See, I emphasize that I've been in prison. I emphasize the good and the bad. To be a true candidate, you got to let it all come out And I don't mean what's in that drawers of yours, dildo. But you say public's confidence in the judiciary. And you, Ron Dupert, say you're independent, say you're the best candidate for judge. And you say, oh, screening, drug screening. You've taken that test, dildo, whenever you wanted to. It wasn't a random test. So don't try to con the people. And what still pisses me off, dildo Dupert, candidate for judge, boy, a piss poor candidate for judge. You leave the Chris family alone. I don't even know them. Your fight's with Barra-Civic. It's not with the Chris family. It's not with anybody else's family. And it's not even with the Barra-Civic family. It's with Barra-Civic as a politician, not as a family man. He's probably a good family man. Don't know. Don't want to be around him. I think he's an idiot too, but that's just my personal opinion. But Ron Dildo Dupert, you say you don't know why I can't support you. You say that you're a stand-up man. You say that you're qualified to be the judge and you have integrity. Well, I'm going to tell you why I can't be for you, Ron Dildo Dupert, the candidate for circuit judge in the 20th Judicial Circuit. I'll tell you why, Dupert. Ron Dildo Dupert, you say you're independent. You know, you go behind my back, you go behind people's back, and you say that you're a great guy. No, you're a complete idiot. You Rainbow Coalition idiot, you LGBT/Q queer lifetime membership bastard. Don't give me that crap, Dupert. You can talk about me. You'll never confront me. And you say you're independent. You're so far up Doug Jamison, Mary Thurman's, and Barb Viviano's ass, the St. Clair County Republican, not the rank and file, not the decent rank and file Republicans, but the Republican elite. You're far from being independent. And I want to ask, and now this is going to get nasty, people. You may want to turn the radio off because I'm going to get a little, I'm going to get a lot graphic here because I don't give a damn. And people say, oh, it's going to hurt your election. Don't give a damn about my election. Take that election and shove it up everybody's ass. I don't live to be a state representative. Don't live to be a politician. I live to be a man. But anyway, getting back to Ron Dildo Dupert, you're so independent. How independent? Okay, people, you had warning. How independent would you be, Dildo Dupert, if a young black man waves his penis in front of your face? You no-count hypocritical bastard. I'm asking you, Dildo Dupert, how independent would you be down on your knees praising that young black man? Or would you be doing something else? I'm just asking, Dupert. I don't know. What would you do? You're so independent. And you're such a good candidate. You have all this credibility, Dupert. What would you do, Ron Dildo Dupert? Would you lose your independence? Would you fall to your knees and pray or beg? Or what would you do, Ron Dildo Dupert? I'm just asking if a young black man would wave his penis in front of your face. Just a question. That's just between me and you, Dildo Dupert. You think you've got integrity? You ask why Bob Romanik is against you? You're the one that asked that, Dildo Dupert. You're the one that asked that. And I don't think I could be for anybody. For anybody that has a social life that you have, Ron Dildo Dupert. And you know what I'm talking about. You wanted to draw the line in the sand, and you drew it, Dupert. And I'm crossing it. I'm crossing it. I'm tired of you. How hypocritical can you be? Want to know Bob Romanik has no reason. Has no reason. And he says, I made it totally clear to BR that I'm unable to be pressured by any person or group to do anything. And that included Bob Romanik. All the people know that politics, undue influence, and money and drugs for sure have infested the 20th Judicial Circuit. Well, maybe so, Dildo Dupert. But I don't think I want a man of your social caliber as a 20th Judicial Circuit judge. And people, it ain't pretty. This man, and I want to know another question, Dupert, and I'm just asking, is it true? Is it true or not? And I don't know. Were you involved? Now, people, this is a guy running for circuit judge. This is a guy casting bad light on me, and that's okay. Got a lot of bad light that could be cast on me. but casting bad light on everybody but him. Everybody but him. Did you, Ron Dildo Dupert, get in a wreck? Have a personal injury case? And in court deposition, and I don't know, this is a rumor, this is alleged at this time, did you have your jaw hurt? And let me say this a little more sensitive than I normally would. No, hell no, I'm not going to say it's sensitive. Did you or did you not say in court deposition that because your jaw was hurt, that it screwed up your sex life? I'm asking, I don't know. It's alleged. Screwed up your sex life and you couldn't perform proper fellatio on young black men and you wanted more money for that? Was that in a court deposition, Ron Dildo Dupert? Ron Dildo Dupert, the guy running for 20th Judicial Circuit Judge. And no matter how bad Barrecivic is, and I'm not endorsing Barrecivic because I don't like him either. But I got to say, my conscience says I can't be for an ass wipe like Ron Dildo Dupert. Ron, you come at everybody's family. You come at the corruption at the courthouse. What about the alleged sexual corruption in your house, Ron Dildo Dupert? I just wondered, if you were to be elected judge and wore that robe, would you have clothes on underneath, Ron? When you looked at a young black man, would you get aroused, Mr. Dupert? I don't know. I'm just asking. And Ron, feel free to call toll-free 1-888-394-1430 on the east side, 394-1190. And next time, Dupert, don't put this crap out. Don't put this crap out on your Facebook and don't think that I won't find out about it. You've got something to say right now, Dupert. People are listening. You can call toll-free 1-888-394-1430, you no good son of a bitch, you hypocritical bastard. Or on the east side, you cheap son of a bitch, at 394-1190. And you say here, they think the people have been hoodwinked to the public in keeping their judges. Plain and simple. What's plain and simple, Ron? That some of the acts that you have done in your life, allegedly, of course, are so egregious, and you say that these judges sitting on the bench are bad? And one last time, Ron, it says that BR tried to pressure me with threats. That's a damn lie, you idiot. It was promises. I told you I was going to expose you for the asswipe son of a bitch. You were not threats. I told you what I was going to do, including that he would attack me on his radio station. Well, that's true. And you can come back and attack me, Ron. Give me a call. Defend yourself. Or, I'm just asking, is there a young black man maybe waving his penis in front of your face? And at that point, you couldn't talk to me anyway, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, a pissed off son of a bitch and Grim Reaper of radio, and Dildo Dupert. Watch out, because I think the people of St. Clair County, the 20th Judicial Circuit, have found your lazy rainbow queen ass out. The Grim Reaper of radio. That's me, Bob Romanik. And you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting and worse, and it never gets better. America, listen to this, both Kern and Dildo Dupert. America's bi-state voice of freedom, not bisexual. Radical radio. Who said that? But seriously, people, we are proud to be Americans, and we are very, very, very proud, you hear me, to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, very proud to be the Patriot. Ron, we're going to clean your stuff up here real quick if we can. Ron Dildo Dupert, don't you ever challenge me, because you'll always get an answer from Bob Romanik. Anyone who challenges me will get an answer that you, Ron Dildo Dupert. It's hard to say Ron Dildo Dupert. It's probably harder we didn't want to put that dildo, if you know what I mean, and I kind of think you do. So, Dupert, don't act like you're some kind of badass, you stupid son of a bitch. And he says in this little article, Chief Judge is actually harming the reputation of the judiciary in the 20th Judicial Circuit. And he says, this is Dildo Dupert. You and the public be the judge, and I think they will, Ronnie boy. And when you think about it, there's only one choice, and that is to vote for Dupert for judge. I don't think so, Dupert. You know, it's like my brother at Thanksgiving. He always said, Mom, I don't like the white meat. I like the dark meat. That should be your political slogan, Dupert. I ain't for the white meat. I prefer the dark meat. If you know what I mean, Ronnie boy, and I think you do, you no good son of a bitch. So you, Doug Jameson, Bart Viviano, Mary Turdman or Thurman, whatever the hell her name is, you elitist Republicans, not, again, people, not the good rank and file. There's a lot of good, decent rank and file Republicans. But these asswipe elitist Republicans give you a bad name. But all you people, the Duperts, the Vivianos, the Jamesons. Now here's Ron Dupert running for Dupert running for judge, and the head of the Republican Party in St. Clair County is Doug Jameson, who owed $100,000 in child support. I keep saying it, you keep hearing it. Couple DUIs, he tried to get expunged because he was so embarrassed. The Mothers Against Drunk Driving don't like him. And charged with domestic violence and had a court order to get a psychiatric exam. And they say Bob Romanik's nuts? Well, yes, I am, but I'm not running the Republican Party. Well, they're not running the Republican Party either. They're ruining the Republican Party. But Ron Dildo Dupert, please give me a call. Hey, let's take care of our housekeeping. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Dildo, but I want to take care of our housekeeping. We missed it the last day or so. And back to school celebration. The New Vision Democrats on September the 5th, next Monday in Jones's Park. There's going to be a parade at 10 a.m. starting from the Katie Wright School on State Street. It's going to be a city-wide, you hear me? Everyone is invited. Free barbecue, balloons, bounce houses, music, raffles, 20-bike giveaway. Going to have chicken, all kind of barbecue, hot dogs, hamburgers, pork steaks. The New Vision Democrats. They broke away from the East St. Louis Democratic Club, that corrupt Democratic club that's associated with the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee that's ran by no other than Bob. I'd rather piss in my pants than piss in a urinal spray. You know that no good son of a bitch. But it's a back-to-school celebration. Everyone in East St. Louis, everyone below the hill is invited to come out. Free barbecue, going to have a great time. That'll be held at Jones's Park, and it's sponsored by the group of Democrats that are the true Democrats of East St. Louis, the New Vision Democrats, and we'll talk about that more tomorrow. September the 9th and 10th, St. Stephen's Catholic Church in Caseyville, their fall festival, to be held at 901 South Main Street in Caseyville, Illinois. That's on Friday and Saturday, September the 9th and 10th. Going to have food, silent auctions, great people out in Caseyville. Mayor Black, we want to salute you. And again, everybody in the great village of Caseyville. Another great village, the village of Millstadt. Their annual homecoming, Labor Day weekend, this Saturday and Sunday. Please, people come out to Liederkranz Park in Millstadt on September the 3rd and 4th. It's sponsored by the Millstadt Commercial Club. There's going to be food and games, live music both nights. Joe Dirt and a Dirty Boys band on Saturday night, and the Glendale Riders on Sunday night. They're going to have carnival rides, all kind of barbecue. Going to have parade both Saturday and Sunday at 5 p.m. And anybody can make it out to Millstadt, please do. The Hog Roast coming up September the 10th at New Memphis Station. Customer appreciation. tax meeting tomorrow, August the 31st, at the Freeburg Library. Starts at 1:30. It's all about taxing situation. I want to thank County Board member from the New Athens Freeburg area, more so the Freeburg area, Frank Hillegastein. He always puts these tax meetings on, and what a great man. Takes his time to talk to people, explain to people. It'll be at 1:30 tomorrow, August the 31st, at the Public Library in Freeburg. Again, in Millstock Community Blood Drive, Thursday, September the 8th from 4 to 8 p.m., sponsored by the Millstock Consolidated School District. Any questions or concerns, you can contact Marge at 401-5122. Sunday, September the 11th, the Edwardsville American Legion Post 199 having their Bluegrass Festival from 1 to 6 p.m. The Watershed String Band, Cluster Pluck, well, I could get in trouble with that one, and George Ports and the Friends of Bluegrass. Tickets are $5. Any questions or concerns, you can contact the great heroes at the Edwardsville American Legion Post 199 at 618-656-9774. You can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all three of our stations. Listen to my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. Please like us on Facebook, KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. Go to my personal Facebook page, Fans of the Grim Reaper. We've got all the X-rated cartoons on Sprague, Bear, Civic, Kern. It's very, very funny and very, very offensive, of course. You can also go to my personal political page, Bob Romanik for State Representative, and never forget the Facebook for the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition on Facebook. They're fighting the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, uniting men, women, black, white, Democrats, Republicans, and independents for a more effective, a more efficient, but most of all, a more honest form of government, people. The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition has a movement that all you good people are getting involved in. It's going to be a great day come November of 2016 in St. Clair County. On this date, August the 30th, 1780, Benedict Arnold betrayed his country. On this date, August the 30th, 1850, Honolulu, Hawaii became a city. On this date, August the 30th, 1893, Mrs. Grover Cleveland gave birth to a baby girl named Esther, becoming the first wife of a president to give birth in the White House. On this date, August the 30th, 1967, the United States Senate confirmed the appointment of Thurgood Marshall as America's first black Supreme Court justice. On this date, August the 30th, 1984, the Space Shuttle Discovery made its first flight. 6 astronauts were aboard. On this date, August the 30th, 1990, for your sports fans, Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr., father and son, became the first father and son to play on the same team, the Seattle Mariners. That's what happened on this date, August the 30th, throughout all these years in our world's history. Hey, Dildo, we're going to come back at you momentarily after the break. I've had so many callers. People are so pissed at you, a Dildo Duper. I don't know. I don't think you should leave your house. I think you better stay in your house. You better get the LGBT and queer community leaders out there to protect you. Because, you know, just like when they said the king's gone, we don't want you, the queen, to get hurt. If you know what I mean, Ron Dildo Duper, and I believe you do, give us a call. Defend yourself. You write this crap on your Facebook. Let's talk man to man. Or in this instance, me, man to you. Well, I won't even embarrass and call you a woman, you bitch. Whatever the hell you are. I don't think you're transgender. Give me a call, Dildo Duper. Defend yourself. And that's not a threat. That's a promise. Because I'm going to rag your ass. I think the people of the 20th Judicial Circuit need to know about you. Need to know how hypocritical you are. And Thanksgiving is coming up. And I'm sure the good people of East St. Louis the young boys down there will save you some dark meat. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM. Simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting at its finest. America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
The all-new 1190 AM KQQZ, proudly broadcasting in the United States of America. The greatest country on God's green earth.
This program intended for mature audiences.
The Grim Reaper of radio, death, and taxes. 3 things you never really want to experience. Now, let's get back to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
You've got to stand for something.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Ron, got a lot of callers. I think you're on their hate list at this point in time. And what I say is a little offensive. But Ron Dupert, what you do is real offensive. Ron Dupert, your candidate, well, not my candidate, of course, but your candidate, whoever you are out there, candidate for judge in the 20th Judicial Circuit. Hey, and Dupert, it's not a sexual thing, and you probably enjoy it, but take your little asswipe email or whatever the hell this thing is and shove it up your ass, will you? You got something to say to Bob Romanik, you come say it to his face, because I'm an old man. I'm not a badass, but I am what you just heard. A man, an old man, and I'll stand tall. And you no good son of a bitch, you can stand tall as a woman or whatever the hell you are this week. Got this, and listen to this, people. And we got to segue out of here. Don't have much time. And I want to thank Jessica from Cahokia for all the hard work. It's very, very much appreciated. We're going to get to the bottom of this. She walked to St. Clair County. She got the walk sheets for the March primaries. They requested an update. They went in precinct Centerville Township 11. Now, people, this is for everybody listening, and this just happens not just in St. Clair County, but all throughout the great state of Missouri and Illinois. Listen, people, there were 101 people born that were more than 100 years old, still registered. 101 people more than 100 years old, still registered in Centerville Township 11 precinct. 101 people that are more than 100 years old that are still registered. Now, hopefully they're around, but you know they're not. That's what St. Clair County, that's what the culture of corruption is about, stealing your vote. It says now, I don't know, this doesn't seem like a lot, but it says there also, the list, there's 90 plus and 80-year-olds, 71, 80-year-olds, and 90-year-olds in this precinct alone that are still on the voting rolls. Jessica says many of them, whom God rest their souls, are probably no longer with us. No, probably none of them are no longer with us. and says these walk sheets show voters' history through last year, 2015. And it says, I'm pretty sure that we didn't have 71 115-year-old people who voted. Collectively, there's almost 1,500 who are 80-year-old plus in one precinct in Centerville Township. And you know why Curtis McCall gets such a good vote out of there. But people, understand, if you're from the outer county and you say that doesn't affect me, yes, it does. Because they're stealing your vote, the vote that our brave military men have fought and died for. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Do you understand? We're going to try to blow the lid off this, but we're going to get all the information. That's all this corruption, not just in St. Clair County, but in Cook County, throughout this great state of Illinois. 1,500 people that are 80 years or older on the rolls in this one precinct. 101 people born that are more than 100 years old are still registered to vote. Now, they should be on the TV show. What was it, Willard Scott, the 100 years old? I don't see all these people on Willard Scott. 101 people that were born that are more than 100 years old are still registered to vote in a precinct in St. Clair County. Do you understand now the severity of this culture of corruption, people? Do you understand? I think you do, and I think November the 8th of 2016, we can stop it, people. We can stop this corruption. This is one precinct out of 215, I guess, in the county of St. Clair. 101 people that are over 100 years old still on the rolls to vote. It's not possible, people, but it is possible to let them vote if we continue to let this St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. And there's a lot of Democrats, people, that are pissed off. A lot of Democrats are crossing over. They're tired of the corruption. The decent Democrats, the decent Republicans, the decent independents are tired. And they're not going to get this election stolen from them. Also, in parting, Ron, people aren't real happy with you. But Ron's office is at 23 Public Square for all you people that want to go by and pay a little visit to Ron. His office number, and you guys ought to call. He didn't defend himself. He has nothing to defend. His office number is 618-235-0800. That's 618-235-08600. Now, I personally don't think you're going to get much legal representation. I personally don't think it's going to be very much professional legal representation. Now, if you're for a good time, if you know what I mean, and I think you do, Ron Dildo Dupert. What a disgrace you are, not just to the legal profession, you idiot, but for humanity. Ron Dildo Dupert. A vote for him is a wasted vote, in my opinion, of course. Got to go. I hope I didn't offend too many people, but if I did, you had prior warning. So don't get pissed and say that Romanik said this. I give you a warning. I'm going to say what I say when I say it. I'm going to say what I say because of this great United States of America that we're all free to say what we want. So if there is a God, and I hope there is, he needs to bless us one more time because it's getting out of hand with these politicians, people. Let's support this great country, not our asswipe politicians. Let's support this great country of ours. Let's honor our first responders and our brave military heroes because they are the ones that keep us safe, keep our families safe, day in and day out. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, if you haven't noticed. America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. I'm going to go out a little bit different today. I want to Had a sad day today. Mr. Barry Beal, the ex-chief of Belleville, a great man and a great friend of many. Jim Goodwin, Denny Weisbrot, all of his comrades. He was the chief of police in Belleville for many years, did a great job. Barry passed. He'll be laid out today at Curtis Funeral Home in Belleville. So I'm going to go out with just Barry Beal, a great friend to a lot of great people, a great man. I hope, Barry, that you rest in peace.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life...